Right. Nice and early. Look at you.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hold on. Yay!
No matter how far technology goes, everybody's still going to start every conversation with, "Can you hear me?" Because
I know. Well, I do so many things with different people in different places that it's like the computer has a mind of its own and it just changes the settings. It's annoying.
yeah. Well, it's working, and we can hear each other and see each other, and that's nice. You look wonderful. I love your top matches the background.
Yeah. I got it down. I
You
got
too.
it down.
Anyway, we're currently recording, so I just want to remind you that. So, and we can begin anytime you're ready.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. We're early. I like that. That's nice. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I was very excited to do this, your work, and also because of the writing. Your books really have made me so curious about you and the work. Can you talk? I mean, for those who may not know, you have written about at least 5 books, right?
6 now. Yeah.
6. See, you snooze, you lose. I just since I started looking into you've written, published probably another book. So good. And it's on this. Let's see. How can I say? It's on the subject of self. I will say, for shorthand, and you can certainly correct the record here, but I would say about self-empowerment, if in a
self-empowerment, manifestation, being happy, getting what you want. Yeah, all falls under the same thing.
Which often getting out of your own way often, right?
Always.
The
biggest person in the way of getting what we want is us.
Well, okay.
Hands down.
When did when did this begin in your life, this journey, or part of your journey?
Well, I'm a channel, and I used to channel information when I was a little girl, and actually most kids do. Most kids are wired in because they haven't been told they can't be yet, right? So I used to channel when I was a little girl and get messages like my grandma's in danger, and so we drove over there at 3 a.m. and the cat had turned on the gas in the kitchen, and my dad visited me after he died, and all. So it was all kind of like, okay, that just happens. And then I found my acting teacher, Charles Conrad, who changed my life as an actor. And when I started actually channeling and calling it that, I went, oh my God, this is what I've been doing in my acting all my life, since I met Charles. And, because I don't break anything down. I don't think a lot about my parts. I mean, there's a definite technique to it, but I get my energy very, very high and throw all my energy onto the person or the werewolf or the dog I'm working with. And that opens up a channel. And so, like Cujo, I channeled the whole thing.
So now I understand in retrospect, you're referring to that experience in that particular movie that you were channeling. But at the time when you were shooting it, did you think in those terms?
No.
It's something you developed and learned over time that you were doing that.
And my husband died very early, and I dropped to my knees and I said, I don't want to be pissed off, and I don't want to be a victim for the rest of my life. I want a way we can heal ourselves. I'm like, that it opened up my channel consciously.
Okay.
Again, the first message I got was use the light within you to heal yourself. And
Yeah.
I've been learning what that means ever since.
I guess I looked at the, what your books, and then I discovered you have a podcast of your own,
Yeah.
or you do a radio show that's repurposed as a podcast. Is my assumption, because there are callers. You have callers. So and you refer to the channel as they. So if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a really old term. That's a really old term when I was learning about my channel. But somebody called into my radio show and said, "Who do you channel?" I said, "I don't know. Let's ask." And the answer was all thought and all possibilities. I said, "Well, that's my definition of God." And the channel said, "Yeah, everybody channels God. That's all there is."
And so when you say that the channel said, are you talking about an internal, some sort of a voice? You hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear it.
You're tapping into some, okay. And
Yeah.
when you refer to high energy, the way I interpreted it, this language was the most disseminating things down to their most bare truth. I don't know, but as much as you can anyway.
Hold on. Are you asking about getting my energy high when I'm acting?
No. I maybe I'm confusing terms, so I could be the problem here. There's also the way you describe also talking about your maybe it's discovery or getting to be or just getting to an honest place, like with describing your experience. So you do get out of your way. I think you were.
Well, you have to get out of your way.
Right.
You're not the information. You're only the vehicle the information comes through.
Yeah.
Right. Like I work with a pendulum. A pendulum has no power in its own. It's like a telephone. It's a tool. Tarot cards are a tool to open up the channel, right? The biggest challenge for people who channel or call themselves psychics is to really understand the highest meaning of the information that you get. And that's the important part. And a lot of people don't. For example, I had this wonderful woman who read to me earlier in my career when I was married to Christopher Stone, and she said, you're going to have an affair right in front of your husband. And I said, "Oh, I don't think so. I'll be dead if I do." She said, no, you will, and it'll be this summer. Well, cut to that summer, I was cast in Annie Get Your Gun, and I had a love affair with my co-star on stage, and my husband was in the audience. So yeah, I had an affair in front of my husband, but she didn't really get the highest understanding of what was going on. Do you understand?
Yes, sure.
So,
In other words, right. Yes, because she
picked up
a different piece of information were
she picked up a piece of the information in my energy.
I see.
But didn't really understand what the highest meaning was. So I think that's one of my most empowering attributes that I bring to my clients, is that I can look into their energy, find out where their blocks are, find out when they started, who they started with, and really give them an understanding about how that belief / block in their life is holding their lives back right now.
And when you do, and they make these, it's very, I'm assuming that your clients make breakthroughs like they would in different kinds of therapy, for instance.
Oh, and faster.
Mhm.
Yeah, I write a lot of the stories, the true stories in Born. And
That's the name of the latest book.
yeah, Born, Giving Birth to a New You.
Oh, yes, right, I did write that down. Go
And
ahead.
it's literally the formula for creating everything you want in your life. So if you read the book and you apply it, you live it, your life will change dramatically.
When you think back, Dee, on before this period of time, and this, it sounds as though the death of your husband was the catalyst for this.
One of them, yeah.
When you think back before that in your career, do you, or your, you just even your life and what you were as a younger woman, what do you think about that woman then? Because it seems like such a really stark change in your sense of this
No,
identity.
it wasn't a stark change though. It was a gradual realization of all of my talents and all of the reason that I'm supposed to be here.
Mhm.
And, when I think about me in my younger years, I think I look back and I go, wow, I was tenacious. I had integrity. I wouldn't take no for an answer.
Mhm.
I was driven. And because of my mom, I was instilled with really, really valuable qualities that I'm really proud of. A lot of love, a lot of integrity, truthfulness. When I would take my daughter to the grocery store, and sometimes they forget to get the things that you put on the bottom and you get out to your car, we would always go back and we would stand in line and I would say, I'm sorry, I got out to my car and you didn't see these things in the bottom of the cart and you didn't charge me for them. Because I think it's imperative that we teach our children integrity and truthfulness, compassion, understanding, all of the qualities that you're seeing being really challenged in our world today.
I agree with you, and I was going to ask you about what has this made your work, or just maybe day-to-day living more difficult for you?
Oh no, easier. Much,
Easy,
much easier because I just continually, consciously create what I want. And so my life just kind of flows. And that's how life is supposed to be, by the way.
Mhm.
That's the way it's supposed to be. I travel, I fly probably twice a month. Never have any problems, never lose my bags, never have a flight canceled. Everybody's genuinely lovely and helpful. And that's what I mean. We're taught, we are literally taught to struggle. And we are taught that the more you struggle, the more worthwhile what you get is. And it's not true. They taught us that because they were taught that.
Mhm.
And their parents were taught that. And that's what they mean by sins of the fathers, right? There's a total misunderstanding of how energy works. Everything is energy. There's no positive energy, no negative energy. So there's no evil energy. Energy is neutral. You learned this in 5th grade. energy must have a direction to take form. So you're either directing your energy consciously with love and intention, or you're allowing your energy to be directed by social media, the news, the fear that all your friends are in, whatever. It'll pick up its direction from anything if you are not adamantly and consciously directing what you want.
Well, what about just for like an arbitrary? I'm just trying, like,
Go ahead.
contextually.
Give me a challenge. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not sure it's a challenge quite, but well, let's say with recent the reversal of Roe.
Yeah.
How do you, like, as a woman, it must upset you on some level. That's
Well,
because of the impact it will have on so many people.
the lower D gets upset. The higher D knows that the more I get upset, the more I feed it.
I see.
And that's brain science. Whatever you put your focus on, you create more of.
Mm-hmm. So there is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If I want to create a world of more fairness and choice for everyone, I intentionally focus love on that and keep my focus on that, because otherwise I'm just feeding what I don't want.
I appreciate your focus is all about love. That's why I wanted to talk to you, because
Yeah.
you know, that's a wonderful thing. And
Love is the most powerful creation tool we have, and none of us use it that way.
right.
We're trying to get love or give love, but what we have to do is to be love. Literally be the frequency of love.
That's beautiful. I don't know how to do that. Oh, so well, first of all, again, the new book, the latest book, which is available anywhere books are sold, by the way, is called Born Giving Birth to a New You.
Yep.
It's currently in paperback. So
easiest place is Amazon, or you can email me through my website and I'll sign it for you. A lot of people pay a lot of money for my signature these days. But I joyfully put it on my books because I want everybody to read this book. It's a life-changing book.
Okay, I'll get a copy. You talked me into it. So with and the name, what's the show, the radio show also?
My radio show is on every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and it's called Conscious Creation. And you can get it on iTunes. You can get it on iHeartRadio.
Got it. On their live radio feed.
A lot of other places, a lot of other radio places you can get it to that carry it.
Understood. I work in radio, actually. So
Yes.
we have that in common. But mine's like the old-fashioned terrestrial radio. We play music.
Oh,
It's
well,
very nice.
I love that.
It's very old-fashioned. I mean, you know, because of technology, I refer to it as old-fashioned, but people drive around in their cars and they listen to music, and, you know, they don't know what's going to come on next. And there's something really exciting about that, you know?
Exciting and balancing. Music, especially 60s.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm out of balance, I go put on 60s music and dance, and it brings me right back into balance.
Well, that's lovely. And so, without putting you on the spot, what's maybe somebody that does that for you? Can you think of somebody, a musician or an artist that does that for you?
I love Pharrell. I love his
Well, that's not 60s.
No, but
you're right. I love his music. He has a great stuff you can't help but dance to.
Yeah, and I love the Beach Boys, and I love the Beatles, And
I know
I
you're
love
going to
all
know.
the doo-wop songs.
You're
My
probably
favorite song, my favorite song is,
uh-huh.
God, I always want to call it
Who's the,
something different.
who's the band?
Oh shit, don't ask me all those.
I know. I told you I was going to put you on the spot.
Do you love me?
Okay.
Do you love me? Yeah.
That's a
Now
great one.
that I can dance. Oh my God, I love to get up and dance to that. Woo!
Work, right?
Yeah.
Work.
Work it out, baby. Yeah.
Can I guess that you're at least acquaintances, if not friends, with Frank Marshall?
Yes. Acquaintances. Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you know this, but he came on recently because he had a documentary that he directed called Jazz Fest, and it's about this annual jazz festival in New Orleans. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, and it's a wonderful. He also did a Bee Gees documentary a couple of years ago. I don't know if you saw that one.
Really? That's great. I will
You
have
would love it. Yeah, he's got these two parts of his creative world or his professional world, producing films with friends like Steven Spielberg, who you may know, and
yeah, kind of. I heard of him.
and
Frank Marshall, just for your listeners, Frank Marshall was one of the co-producers on E.T.
which is
and I starred in. Yeah.
You did star in it. I can testify to that, and I remember seeing that with my dad. I remember walking into the theater that day. And,
go ahead, make me feel old. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if that's possible. That's not in your DNA. But no, as I always say, there's a difference between being old and being elderly. And you can be old but have a youthful, be youthful. And
age is a state of mind.
Exactly. But I bring it up because he has this next documentary is on the Beach Boys, so I thought I'd just plant that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, I would like Frank. I get auditions for Frank somewhat frequently. So one of these days he's going to hire me again.
Well, now that I know that you're very busy, I happen to know that you're working quite a lot.
I have a lot of films coming out. I just did a great limited series for Peacock.
Oh, can you mention it?
Got a lot. It's called A Deeper Look. And it's so bizarre and so wonderful and so funny and so weird. You will sit there watching it going like I did. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I couldn't believe the little clip they sent me to see if I was interested. And
oh, so they had started this project.
Yeah,
you came onto it, in other words.
Yeah. I finished it. I finished my part in it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait to see it. We also, I mean, this opportunity came along because also this happens to be, we joked about, E.T., but this is the 40th anniversary, right? This year.
Yeah.
So it's a big, so you've got to be getting a lot of appearances and calls about that.
Absolutely.
I saw you on Drew's show. That's kind of what, and then I think I got an email from your publicist, but it was seeing you on there and just how, I was like, my God, she's just fantastic. And what?
I'm just what?
Fantastic. I mean, I was just so thrilled by how you know, again, not to go back to what we were talking about for necessarily, but the energy that you exude, and the two together was very exciting to see that.
That's all my work.
Yeah.
And I hear that daily. I hear that from people in the grocery store. Because when you literally are love, people get that vibration, and that vibration goes out, and people respond to it. And I get up every day. I direct my day every day before I get out of bed. Today,
I heard that in your show. You talked about that. Yeah.
I'm really, my channel is really big.
So when you direct, I've heard that about your channel. But when you direct your day, you're saying, in other words, you're mindful about what you're going to experience and what the energy you're going to put out through the day before. So that way you have that, as you said, like a spiritually more seamless day.
Yes, I direct the energy of me
Okay.
and the energy of my universe, because we're all one, toward what I want. Today, I am love, and I spread love and give love everywhere I go, and I attract love to me from everywhere. Today, I know and I'm clear, because when you doubt, you can't ever create. And our minds, you see, our minds are made to doubt. Our hearts know. But we're never taught to go to our heart for our knowing. We're taught to reason and think and wonder and ponder, and
I see, right. Yeah, yeah.
And really, that Einstein talks a lot about most of his biggest breakthroughs were in his imagination. When he just let himself go and go into his heart and let the information come in, right? So, we're all electrical beings. If you want to understand it from the point of view of brain science, they measure our hearts with electrocardiograms, our brains with electroencephalograms. So every thought and feeling we have has an electrical signal that shoots out into the universe. And the universe is electromagnetic. We know that our poles are electric, right? So whatever you put out, and the universe doesn't judge whether it's positive or negative, the universe goes, I've got to find a match. I've got to find a match. Boom, there's a match. Send it back. So if you want your life to change, you got to start sending out different signals so the universe can start matching the beliefs and what you want instead of all your old patterns. Do you know that a child's brain around his self-esteem and how he sees himself and how he thinks the world sees him, totally locked in by 8 years old?
That doesn't surprise me.
So
yeah, I would imagine it was even younger, but
well, it's from conception to 8. So whatever you're verbally taught or modeled in front of you that you watch, you create belief systems that that's the way the world works. And then you start building your life on all those old belief systems. So if you want to break open in your life, and I talk all about this in Born, you go back, write down everything you were taught, like about money. I can tell you right off the top of my head, they're the rich people, we're the good people. So if you have money, you're not a good person, right? God doesn't love you.
You're
People
greedy,
will judge
and you're greedy, and you're
all
whatever.
that BS stuff that has nothing to do with money. It only has to do with your consciousness. Money has no power. It's what you do with it or don't do with it that gives you the power. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just I was going to just I do feel like I have to also ask you about your acting, because this is a
sure.
Which is not just separate from everything we're talking about. Of course, it's definitely bound together, I imagine. So at what point, maybe since it is the 40th anniversary of ET, we can kind of talk a little bit about it. I'm curious to know when the experience of being cast in that film, and how that happened, and also when did it dawn on you that you were going to be in this one of the most famous films ever made, at least in this country.
Well, I created that in exactly the way I lay it out in Born.
Do you talk about
I
the
didn't
experience
even
of being?
audition. I didn't even audition.
Didn't.
for BET. I had auditioned years before for a film called Used Cars that Stephen.
Oh, sure, I saw it.
And
Based on that performance, you were cast in ET.
so I just started applying all this formula and creating. It didn't have to be ET, could have been another film. But I was vibrationally a match to that film and the message of that film.
It definitely were.
I know.
Absolutely. That you were, I mean, that was, people, I think, responded so strongly to your character. You know, maybe they don't even know why they did.
I think
that you did embody such a loving character.
Yeah, and again, people absorb that vibration. They don't know intellectually why they're being affected, but that whole film, Melissa Matheson instilled in that whole film the vibration of love and truth. And then Stephen was chosen to bring it to life at the height of his career. I lucked out, the 3 kids lucked out, but you see, I don't look at it as luck. I think everybody in that movie was destined to bring those, destined meaning they created it.
I know it's right. In other words,
hi, baby. What's his name?
That's Tucker. That's
Tucker.
My girlfriend's dog.
Oh, I love doggies.
Yeah,
see, that's a good sign. When animals come in, they feel the vibration. That's a really good sign.
Well, I'm definitely a lover of animals because they give so much love. I mean, you know.
Yep. I teach everybody to find their love place. And their love place is anything you think of that automatically makes you smile and makes your heart open. And I go right to my dog.
Do you have just the one?
I just have the one right now. Yeah. All my dogs have been rescues. Since I was a little girl, they've all been rescues.
Yes.
But,
this one too.
Yeah. Good for you.
Well, I didn't tell my dog. I can't take, well, no, I can take credit for it. I'm going to take credit for Tucker.
Hey, you attracted her and she brought the dog. So there you go.
There you go. Oh, I love it. Very good. Okay. And I want to mention that you mentioned you have a website. So people also, you were just talking about the work you do with clients, and I wanted to mention people can go and email you if they want a private session.
Absolutely. Right. I am deewallace.com.
Okay.
And there's a lot of great free stuff on there too, guys, that you can go and check out my work. It's so empowering. I can't even begin to tell you. It's literally changed my life.
Well, I can tell. And I have to say though, as a, just to tack on to what we were talking about, I did have I couldn't watch Cujo because I had such I just have such a reaction to that type of situation. And I made the mistake of reading that book when I was a young man, very young, still in my 20s, I think, or maybe barely into my 20s when that book came out. And it was the last one I read of King's books because it was just so difficult, that situation.
Well, that tells you how good a book it is.
Maybe you're right. I guess, right.
But you see, Cujo for me the film was about a mother's love and what she would go to to defend and save her kid.
Right.
For me, that's what the movie was about. And I have to tell everybody, there were 13 dogs that played Cujo because the trainer was so adamant that none of the dogs would be overworked. And they were all trained to go after toys. So we actually had to tie their tails down with fish wire, so you wouldn't see them wagging all the time. Right.
Really funny.
Yeah. And they were
Right.
all trained
The dog
to
is,
different tricks, So there were
Yeah.
13 of them and one of me. So by the end of that film, they treated me for exhaustion for 3 weeks. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's my favorite film.
really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to now watch it because of that. I'll make myself watch it.
Well, it is relentless. It
Yes.
is powerfully dramatic. Danny Pintaro was absolutely amazing in that film.
He's the young.
He's the
boy.
young boy. I mean, it's me, Danny, and the dog, basically,
Right. Yeah.
And then my husband played my lover in it. He had done The Howling with us, and
Right.
the same producer, I love you, Dan Blatt, produced Cujo. And so he called and offered it to both of us, which was great. We got to be on location together. And
Where did they shoot that?
Northern California. So it looks like we're dying of the heat and we're really almost freezing.
Right. That's why it's called acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right. Well, I really appreciate your giving me some of your. I know you're very busy. I mean, you're a quite the multi hyphenate, Dee, and
I just get up every day and go, what can I create today? And I'm amazed at the different stuff that comes in. I just got back from London doing a huge convention. I'm getting ready to do another film, to go into another film. I'm in talks to develop my children's book into a children's series.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a lot of exciting stuff going on, and I've got this shirt that it's my favorite shirt, that it says, I love my life. And I always wear it on the plane because I figure hundreds of people will read that shirt and claim that for themselves. And that's a good thing.
Well, you inspire. You're quite the inspiration, and you inspired me. And so I really appreciate that. Again, I appreciate your making the time today to come on and do this.
It was great to be here. It really was. I had a good time. Thank you.
I hope so. Thank you. Yeah. Well, have a great rest of your day.
That's the plan. Now I have a half hour and then I'm doing a private session with somebody.
Oh, okay. Lucky them. Okay. All right. Well, I hope to get you back on maybe for a future project. That would be great.
Anytime, baby. You just give me a call.
Okay.
Have Daryl and I on together.
Let's do it.
All right. See you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.